Well, hello there. My name is Elder God Bones, and thank you for joining me. I bring to you today a tutorial series for Factorio. This will be covering everything that a new player, or even potentially a veteran player, could learn from in this series. This is a vanilla-ish playthrough, since I am using Are You Afraid of the Dark, Bottleneck, FNEI, and Long Reach. Those are just for quality of life purposes, as I want this to be a vanilla experience as it comes to playing the game. Let's go ahead and get into this, shall we? So, getting into everything here, we do have, we're going to be creating a new game in single player, in free play, because, the task, of course, is to launch a rocket into space. You start from nothing, work your way up to automation, and don't forget to protect yourself from the natives. This is the intended way to play Factorio. Now, I am going to be using a rail world because I do love trains. Trains is one of the larger aspects of the game as far as logistics is concerned. I am going to be turning off cliffs because I can't stand them. I know they can be removed, but I don't like dealing with them per se. I do have the quote-unquote natives turned off as well, because personally for me, for single player, I do not care for biters, so I just don't play with them, because I can be more concerned about throughput and the overall layout of the base to make it look pretty, not overtly, as you can see by the background, the killing of biters. I like playing with biters with multiplayer. Now, within mod settings, I am not changing anything within Bottleneck, and I am also not changing anything with Long and Far Reach. They are set at 1,000 unit distance, and they can't go any higher than that. Nothing to worry about as far as startup and per player, and you can click preview for your map. One of the things I am going to reduce is the coverage of water. It is going to be reduced to about 25%, where there still will be some fairly large bodies of water, but it is a infinite resource. So, and you can also just build around it. But I like having the initial playthrough, or the initial area that I am in, be free or devoid of all of that. I can deal with everything else later. So of course we'll go ahead and click play, and it loads in, and oh shit, we've crash landed. And this is Factorio Free Play. Your task is to launch a rocket into space. You will need to research advanced technologies in order to unlock the rocket silo. Start small, work your way up with automation, and don't forget to protect yourself from the natives. Now, I already have a seed that I have set up, and I'm going to go ahead and get this loaded here. As you can see, we are at the same spot. Up here in the top left-hand corner, we have FNEI, which literally is just all of the recipes that you would go through showing how to build it, how long it takes, and what resources are needed. I will go ahead and close. Well, I guess it's gonna it won't close, whatever, who cares. So first things first here. So we start and we tear down by right clicking on the things that are on the map. So we were just destroyed the main fuselage. Movement is done by traditional WASD, WASD. W, of course, being up, S down, A left, D right. And so we have spaceship rec medium. We'll go ahead. It looks like, looking at the tooltip here on the right-hand side, like this spaceship rec medium, it will yield a 1 iron plate. And so we'll go ahead and destroy the spaceship big. Got another one small. Another medium. Got another rec medium here. You can see, got 4 iron plates now. Nothing with that one. Got a rec big. That nets me 4. go through, clear everything up. So while I'm doing this, so yeah, as you know, you're here to build a large automated factory to automate the production of science and everything else, and then eventually launch a rocket with including a satellite up into space to notify home, aka Earth, that you're still alive and everything is okay. Now, pressing T does bring up our research queue, as you can see, where we are looking at researching automation, and as you scroll down, there goes, I'm sorry, scrolling down here is the technology tree. Scrolling down here on the left hand side where the list of technologies is, goes all the way down, and we have the rocket silo. And so what this does here is allows you to launch a rocket into space and you win the game. And then from there, it is a infinite game, so you can continue to research productivity modules, so on and so forth. Now, if you've looked into anything about this game, you do start with a little bit of inventory. So we have a burner miner drill, and so when you have it selected and you left click the select, it highlights in green, and then you can rotate, and you can see the little yellow arrow that is showing you where it's going to output. And so E, of course, is opened with your inventory for your character is opened with E. I said that backwards. So left click to pull it out, and now we have a furnace. We'll stick that down. We'll go ahead and throw this wood in here, and while that's happening, we're gonna go chop some trees. So right click to chop down wood. This is known in the community as the burner phase, and for a lot of people it is a... what's the word? It's a pain point, to say the least. It is a pain in the rear to have to get, wood to feed all of your things, or then, going into the map, which is M, you can see here that we have coal, which we will be able to automate the production of, or the mining of coal, to then feed into our buildings to power them, so then they can make things for you, so on and so forth. So we've got a little bit of wood here. There's 80 of it. When you open up your inventory, if you right click, it splits the stack or the quantity in half. So we're going to go ahead and throw 40 of the 80 in there, and as you can see, there's a bar that fills up to 100%, and you get iron ore. That gets deposited into this stone furnace. Now, another thing you can do to make life easy is you can either left click, drag, and drop it, or you can hold the shift button and left click, and it'll fill it up to its maximum amount that it can hold. And also, one of the big things you can do here, there is something called Alt mode. If you press left Alt, as you can see, there's an Alt here on the toolbar. It will display on the furnace or object what it is creating. And here we have 10 iron plates. Shift clicking them again brings them over. And so we need to make a few more burner mining drills. So to create them, it looks like we need 3 iron plates, 3 iron gear wheels, and a stone furnace. And a stone furnace takes 5 stone. So as you can see from total raw, we are 5 stone short. So again, we go to our map and we'll see we have stone here, 1.6 million of it, off to the northeast. So we'll go ahead and run towards it. Scrolling mouse wheel does do scrolling in and out. Pretty similar expectations to most games going into. Go ahead and mine some stone here. We'll get probably 10 to 15. Nine, 10. Go ahead and go to 15 here. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a few. Let's see, it's only going to allow us to make 2. So here in the top, it is, or in the bottom left, I'm sorry, it is creating everything needed for that burner inserter. And so we have 2 of them here. I'm going to go ahead and place one of these down. And then so Q is kind of a pipette tool. If you press Q, highlighting it over an ore, it'll automatically grab a miner. Especially if you have one that you can use. If not, it'll just not do anything. Like, here I am. I'm hovering over the tree and pressing Q and nothing happens. We need a few more pieces of wood. And 36 pieces of wood is okay. We'll go ahead and shift click. And oh, let me go ahead and grab, because right now it's, as you can see, it's outputting to the ground. We don't want that. We'll go ahead and make the 6 wooden chests, because we need something to store it in. And so we'll left click, place it down, open it up, and we're going to limit part of the inventory so it can't be filled by machines, because we don't need umpteen million pieces of loose stone. So I'm going to limit it to 2 stacks. So that brings us there. We'll go ahead and run back. And this is part of the reason why I wanted to use long reach. So while you're running out and about, you can control left click and it will grab all of the produced items from the furnace or assembly machine or whatever you're using. Now we'll go ahead. Now that we have 54 iron plates, we have 11. Let's go ahead and make 2 more burner drills. And so those are being created, and while that's running up here, grab some more stone. Another great starter tip here is, so we have our coal, our 7 million coal. And we're going to create a little somewhat automated platform that will allow us to just pick up coal from them. So, make 1 more burner inserter drill here. And as you can see, looking at it, they are inputting themselves to one another. Now, we're just going to mine 1 coal. That 1 coal into that 1 burner drill inserts itself. And then you see there's a set. The 3rd one is open. And now the 4th one is. And they will perpetually keep themselves full of coal. And so now I can just come over here, left click and reach all over them, or scroll all over them. And now I have 14 coal. Now what I'm also going to do here is set up a little bit of an initial tool belt, because this here at the bottom is your tool belt, showing what you have, and it can be predefined, because there are 10 different slots. Or 10 different slots, I'm sorry, 10 different rows, each of them having 10 slots in them. And so that will let you make specific, like, if you're going out exploring and if you're playing with biters and you are destroying bases, you can have one dedicated for that, where you have laser turrets or your machine gun turrets and your walls and everything needed to be able to protect you while you're out and about destroying things. So now we have our transport belts, and I'm going to leave these 2 open because of things we're going to unlock later. we're going to go ahead and put inserters and small electric poles. Because eventually we will start producing our own electricity, which I don't think we have. Do we have everything unlocked? We do have the basics needed for electric. So we have boiler, steam engine, and both of those can be fed by, well, the boiler can be fed by hand, or it could also be fed by some burner inserters. And so what we're going to do is we're going to create some burner inserters. And we're also going to grab more iron, more stone, go ahead and make 10 stone furnaces. Make a few more miner drills. And a lot of this right now is just sit and wait until everything is finished. So now we have 4, so we're going to go ahead and lay down all 4 of these. And so what I did there is you saw that I put them, they weren't sitting next to one another. So when you put something down and you need to pull it back up again, you can just right click on it and boom. It appears back in your inventory and you're ready to rock and roll. So now we have, so as you can see, these will, the coal is set up in stacks of 50. So we will take this, we will hold control and left click, and it will put in half of the stack into, or half of what you have into the machine itself. And then left click will just dump everything into it. So now we have 5 machines automatically smelting, or well, mining and smelting our stone furnace. We'll go ahead and run up here, grab some more stone, grab some more coal, and we're going to do the same thing over here with the copper. Now, I do happen to know that you do not need as much copper early game as you do iron, so we're only going to do 3 burner inserter drills, or 3 burner mining drills. Words, not my friend today. And of course we're going to hit Q to bring that back up again, place all 3 of them down, open up our inventory with E, realize, hey, we don't have any stone furnaces anymore. So we'll create all 5 of those, bring them out of our inventory, place these down, go ahead and grab more iron, or coal. Words are amazing. And now we just wait. And so first thing here, I guess while we're waiting on that to get done, is we need to research things. So we need to research automation. And automation is, well, research is done by these science packs. And as you can see, it is 1 science pack every 10 seconds for 10 of them. And it will unlock the assembly machine 1 and the long-handed inserter. So we're going to go ahead and start research. And as you can see, I mean, we don't have anything built as far as that. There's nothing we can do. So now we need to worry about making a boiler, a steam engine, and a lab. And then we can handcraft some science packs. We'll need 10 of them to unlock everything, so we'll need 10 copper plates and 10 iron gear wheels. That'll research, and we will be off to the races. So now we have 158 iron plates. So we'll go ahead and create 1 boiler and 2 steam engines. And so what I'm doing is left-clicking on the steam engine to generate 1, right-clicking will if there's 5 available, will make 5, and if you shift left-click on it, it will create them all. Everything, it'll just, if you can create 85, it'll create 85. Now, we don't want to be dirty handcrafters our entire lives. We do want to automate everything so we can go about and exploring the virtually unlimited world that there is in Factorio. Because our base is going to get big. Very, very big. I mean, probably all of it will not contain itself in what we see here at the base. Because we will be belting and or training in a smorgasbord of resources. So now, grab more coal, and then if you ever want to add, and actually that would be a great idea, we'll grab this. Oh, and as you can see, so actually, since if you're new here, you don't know, you have the red blinky triangle of death, saying that it looks like it's out of fuel. It is out of resources. So we'll go ahead and just drop some resources into it. We have 15.3, that's going to run out as well. I'm going to go ahead and make, 6 more, that's fine. I'm going to make some more. There you go. If you don't have something and you try making it, it gets angry at you and says, We're going to go ahead and put these down. There's 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we'll go ahead and rotate, R to rotate them, and same thing. They just input themselves, or they output into the next machine, which then causes it to activate, and the cycle perpetuates itself. And see, look, we're out of... Okay, so we have our 1 boiler and our 2 steam engines here, and we also need an offshore pump. So we need 1 of these, and we'll probably need some pipes. So we will make 1 underground pipe, and so we have 144 pipes. So if I shift left click, it makes all 144 of them. Well, if I shift left click again, it cancels that order. Well, I only want to make 50. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. And now it will create our pipes, and then we can take our offshore pump. And when you open up or go to place an offshore pump, all of these green squares are going to pop up, and these are the places in which you can place down your offshore pump for it to function. So that is finished. So we'll go ahead and when you place down, and then also when you place down a pipe to underground, there is a dotted yellow line, and that signifies where the pipe is. So it has a limit of a max length of 10 units. So 10 units away, boom. And so we'll put down our boiler. And when you're looking at these, scrolling in here, you can see that we have a water input here on the left or the right, and there are arrows designating it can go either way. And then there is steam coming as the output. It's a boiler. So we will go ahead and put this down. We'll do it here. That works. And then our 2 boiler or steam engines. And as you can see, they don't care as far as which way they go. I mean, if you grab one and turn it, literally it's the same thing no matter what. Now, one of these boilers is good for 2 steam engines for the amount of steam that they produce. So, and one of these is good for, well, it is 900 kilowatts of electric. So this can very quickly, I mean, it's what you would definitely call dirty power, since it is powered by coal. And if we were playing with biters on and looking at the map here, there is our red circle of death, which is pollution. This is a graphical representation of how much pollution you are making. Now, as you can see, it is kind of, there's an ebb and flow to it because the trees do actually eat the pollution, and so do the biters. The natives, the more pollution they eat, the angrier they get, and then they come and attack you. Huzzah! Now, we're going to go ahead and place down a box. We're going to place down a burner inserter. And then we're going to run our way up to these. And as you can see now, they have this is part of the reason why I love Bottleneck, is instead of being green, they now have an orange or a yellow pause symbol. So if I go grab all of them, I now have a crap ton of coal. And I'll go ahead and top the rest of these off. I'll probably have to end up grabbing more, but that's okay. That's part of the deal. Yep, and we've ran out of coal. But now we have, what, 404 iron plates and 131 copper plates. We have 77 coal. And what we'll go ahead and do here is we're going to make some small electric poles. As you can see, they require an electric connection. And so a small electric pole has a supply area of 5 by 5 and a wire reach of 7.5. And the blue highlighted square when you hover over the small electric pole is its supply area. So we'll go ahead and place we're going to place 2. We have 1 here and 1 there. And so that's our electric for the moment. And then we need to make a lab. And so as you can see, the lab requires 10 iron gears, 10 electric circuits, and 4 transport belts. Since we are not automating any of this, it is all being handcrafted somehow. I mean, we're not actually handcrafting something, but whatever. Now that that is created, we'll go ahead and throw the coal in. So as you can see, you can watch the burner inserter feeding itself. And now, the boiler is boiling off, making steam. And now, we have our steam engines ready and primed to go. So we have our 1 Lab Lord Honk. And when you click on the lab, you can see that it is waiting for one of the 7 science packs. And of course, now we need to make aforementioned science pack here. So we'll go ahead and open up our crafting inventory bench thing. We can make 113 of these. We're only gonna make that's good. We'll just let that go for a few minutes, because they take a hot minute to create. Actually, no. I'm going to go ahead and cancel all of these. 15's fine. So 3, we'll let that craft, and while I'm doing this here, we'll go ahead and grab us some more coal and drop it off to our machines that need topping off to. There we go, they are topped off. And we have 10. Go ahead and drop those in, and look at her go. So shiny. I love the fact that as you get closer to something, you know, you can hear it, but we're just not going to stand next to that. And it gives you an output of, you know, where it's at. We're at 21%. So we'll go ahead and drop the other 4 in. And huzzah, there we go. And let's see, we'll go ahead and see, what's that consumption? 300. Yeah, we'll go ahead and make one. We're gonna make a radar here, and as it sounds, radar, it scans the nearby sectors and reveals areas around it. So we'll go ahead and put one down here. And now, the beauty and the lovely part about radars is for radar cobalt core. If you hit the map, you can zoom in and you can see everything around it. You can somewhat interact with everything. You can't click on like your crates or the inserters or anything else of that nature, but as you saw what popped up, you can see the electric. It's done. So you can see our satisfaction, which is the amount of power currently being produced out of the power currently required. Production, the amount of power currently being produced out of a maximum possible power production. And then if you have accumulators, the amount of energy stored in the accumulators, i.e. batteries. And so now it is completed. So now we can create assembly machine 1s and long-handed inserters. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to create, it's got nice little orange or yellow things showing that we can create them. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and create 10 of these guys. And then we're going to automate the production of belts and we'll do the belts and the automation science packs first. It's going to be very rudimentary. There's not going to be much math to it or anything else of that nature. It's just going to be slap some stuff down, get it done, and call it a day. So now that we've unlocked the assembly machines, I'm going to go ahead and stick them down here. And so with assembly machines, they do require electricity to work. And we'll go ahead and chop some trees down. $20, $28, $32. Go 50. Bones, if you stay on something long enough, it'll actually tear it down. There we go, 52. That works. And so we're going to go ahead and make 52 small electric poles, which is actually going to be 104, because one creates 2. So now we'll go ahead and since, you know, as I stated before, Q is like a pipette tool. If you hover over something and hit Q, it will grab it. What I'm going to do here is left click and then run. And it will automatically place items down especially power poles specifically, down, and it's maxed out, or as far away as it can while you're running things, and that makes things look nice and elegant. Because if you go to the map, there's a electronics network here, and you can see it makes nice straight lines. So now we have our 10 guys, and so with transport belts need iron plate and iron gear wheels to create 2 transport belts. And the gears need to be created in the intermediary products and 2 iron plates. And what we'll do is we'll actually create some inserters, and eventually we will automate the production of these as well. I prefer these over the burner inserters solely because they're powered by electric. When it comes to the actual electric itself, the production, I will always use burner inserters, because under the event of a catastrophic failure of your base's power, which, full disclosure, is gonna happen, these don't require power to restart. They will automatically feed themselves fuel, and you never have to worry about it. And so now, what we'll go ahead and do is we have our output, we have our input, and then we have another input of iron ore. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change that up. So we're going to tear these down. So we're going to hit Q. If you hold shift, you can see there's a little ghost icon that comes up. No, I don't want to turn on sticky keys. Thank you, Windows. So ghost icon, it just places down a placeholder. And then what you can do is hold Q, and you could place it down. I'm going to remove this one because I'm going to place a chest here and a chest here. And then I'm going to grab another power pole, stick it in the middle here. So this is going to input or output into this chest. This is going to grab to this chest, and then these, and of course, are to rotate. And as you can see from the highlighted cursor here, there is a vertical yellow bar and then an arrow. The vertical or horizontal, wherever the orientation of the inserter is concerned, is where the inserter grabs from, and the arrow is pointing to its destination, where it will land. And so this is going to pull from this side. We'll go ahead and put here, and then to make sure I don't eat up a whole lot of resources, I'm going to limit this to 1 stack. Again, by clicking the X, and then you can just drag and then left click. And now we need our output. Oop, and we don't have power. So we'll grab another one. And from here, again, I don't want a massive influx of transport belts, and I happen to know that these go to a stack of 100. We now limited the production to 400 transport belts, or 4 stacks worth of transport belts. So we have that set up. And so we need, looks like the same thing, but then we need to make electronic circuits to make that happen. Now, you'll see here it shows that it requires 1 iron plate and 1.5 copper plates to make 1 electronic circuit. And well, I don't know about you, but I don't know how the hell I'm going to make a half of a copper plate here. Basically what needs to be done is when you go to make our green circuits, we'll have 2, and then an output of, I need to shift everything down one. So, because what happens is when you make copper cable, which it takes copper cable and iron plates to make one circuit. There's 3 copper plates, or 3 copper cable to 1 copper plate. 2, 4, 6. 6 copper wires divided by 2 is 3. So you have 3 assembly machines making copper wires to feed 2 assembly machines making electronic circuits. That's the proper setup. Right now, we're not even. That's not even on the same agenda. But we're not worrying about that right now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna set up. So this is gonna go here. This one's gonna go there. We're gonna set up the production line for our words. Our red science. Oh my good lord. I can't talk for the life of me here. And so same thing real quick. You know, we have the iron gear wheels and the copper plates. So we're going to go ahead and I don't know why I have this here. That is not what's needed. So we have our inputs. I can make this look nah, there's no need for that. So this is going to be, oh, I pressed Alt. There we go. So we'll put down another power pole. Ooh, we need more wood. Actually, no. We're going to use an idiot. We're going to go ahead and just make all 32 of the iron chests. I mean, we have an unlimited supply, or a somewhat unlimited supply of materials. Not really going to matter all that much. So this is going to be, I have this facing the wrong way. So we'll go ahead and input some iron there. Grab another one. Input some copper here. And huzzah! We have the automation of red science at our disposal. And of course, this is about all the time that we have for today. I do thank you for joining me here. And I would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe, and feel free to comment. I would love to hear your input about what you have going on and what you think of the series. Above all else, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye now.